I have met my demons, and they are many. I have seen the devil, and he is me. You motherfucker. It's Drewski McGillicuddy's Oculus Movie Review. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and tonight I finally watched a movie that I've been putting off and putting off and putting off, and then Jeff Floyd even sent me a copy of it, and I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and it had just been sitting on top of the PlayStation 4, staring me in the face, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw in Oculus from 2013, even though everybody's already done a movie review about this 5 years ago. I'm going to talk about it now, because I just now watched it for the first time, because I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw the trailer for this movie, I was like, I don't like it. Something about, like, the face this lady makes, and then when the main chick in the movie talks to the mirror and says, "You look like you's hungry." I was like, nah, that's kind of gay. But not like in the... No, don't worry about that. Anyway, so the movie is about this brother and sister whose father supposedly shot their mother and tortured her, back in the day. And then her brother had to shoot her father. So, like, we see that at the beginning. And we kind of see it as, they would want the audience to see it, I guess you could say. So he goes off to this mental institution, and 11 years later, he's released on his 21st birthday, or maybe it's not his 21st birthday, but he's 21 when he gets out. That's all beside the point, everybody. It's all beside the point. So he gets out, and his sister picks him up, and she wants him to come stay with her, but she gets him set up in a hotel, but, there's something she really needs him to help her with, because he made a promise that they would never forget what happened that night, even though basically he was brainwashed to forget everything that happened that night, or put it in a reasonable, just made it into a reasonable story, because the doctors tried to convince him that was just a scary story that he made up to make him feel better about what really happened, and that's. At the beginning of this movie, I'll be honest with you, I was like, yeah, I was right. I don't know why anybody thought that I would like this, because it was just taking too long, I guess you could say. And like the girl just, I don't know what the hell it was, okay? At the beginning of this movie, I'm just like, I'm not digging it. I'm not jiving on it is what it was. I just wasn't digging it, okay? But then she convinces, like, she works at this auction house, and she gets the mirror that's in question. And I even mentioned there was a mirror that supposedly caused all this stuff to happen, because there's a mirror that supposedly caused all this stuff to happen, okay? And she works at this auction house, and when somebody goes to buy the mirror, before they have a chance to ship it, she gets it and takes it to the house, because somehow she still owns the house that all this stuff happened in 11 years ago. So she takes it, she's got all this camera equipment set up, all these alarms, she's got water, she's got apples, she's got protein bars, she's got like a foolproof plan, okay? She's got plants set up to prove that this mirror will kill plants. She's got this dog that she didn't name because, she couldn't bring herself to name a dog that she's basically baiting to kill, or whatever might happen to this dog. It might disappear into thin air. I don't know. You don't really know what could happen. But, like, the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, what the fuck? What's so scary about a fucking mirror? Now, I've seen shit with mirrors that are scary before. Like, there's an episode of Amazing Stories from the 80s. It's got this episode about a mirror, and every time this guy looks in a reflection, there's a guy in a trench coat and some weird hat gonna kill him. Let me know in the comments section down below if you know the name of that fucking episode, because I need to watch that shit. Anyway, we're talking about Oculus here, okay? So quit interrupting. Anyway, so she's got the room set up in her dad's office, where her dad's office used to be, and she's got this weight that's like set up, and there's a 30-minute timer, and every 30 minutes it's going to smash this mirror. Which, in hindsight's a terrible idea, because you never know when you're going to forget that timer's over there. It's going to let up before you have a chance to get out of the way, just in case you might be standing in front of the mirror. Remember that, because that's a very crucial part of the movie, because there's several times where they're just standing in front of this thing, and you're like, that thing could just go off at any moment. Like, you don't even need to necessarily wait for this timer to go off. It could just go off randomly. You don't know. I wouldn't stand there. But anyway, that's beside the point as well. Everything that I say is pretty much beside the point. So anyway, she gets all this camera equipment set up, and she's telling her brother, like, and this is where it starts to get good, because at first I wasn't, like, jiving with the movie. But once she gets her brother into this room, explains to him what she's going to do, how they're going to do this, and then starts recording and telling to the camera what this mirror had done. And all that stuff, like, I was hooked, okay? Because, like, it shows from the 1700s all the way up until, what happened with her parents back in 2002, all the horrific incidents that have happened. And I thought that was probably my favorite part of the movie, aside from some of the fucking fucked up shit that happens towards the end of the movie. But yeah, basically it's them trying to prove that this mirror ain't just a mirror. It's got some kind of demonic presence, demonic force, and the way that this movie is directed is just incredible. Like, Mike Flanagan is somebody to keep your eye on for sure. Like, the way he transitions, like he did the same thing with Haunting of Hill House. The way he transitions from timeline to timeline, like it's flawless, but it's, what's that other word? Seamless. Like, there'll be a scene where they're all grown up and they're talking about something, and then it'll go into where they're kids talking about something, and then they'll look back and they'll be grown-ups again, or like they'll be standing in a certain spot looking at a certain corner of the house, and then it'll change to when they were kids, and then that scene will start playing off while they're still standing there. And it's just like, the way he does it is just amazing. But basically they move into this house, and their dad's setting up his office, and he gets this mirror because he didn't want to get he didn't want to get something from IKEA. He wanted something like elaborate to hang on the wall. And once he gets this mirror, he starts telling everybody, "Stay out of my office. I don't want nobody in my office." And then he starts spending a whole lot of time in his office, and he starts getting like meaner and like doesn't want anybody bothering him. Won't come out of the office. The dog doesn't like the office. He goes golfing one day. They put the dog in the office, and like, I don't know if the dog ran away. I don't know what happened to the dog, but the dog's done disappeared or something. But basically, it just goes back and forth, showing you the transition and like the slow decline of their family, while the sister's trying to explain to the brother what really happened, because he forgot everything that happened, because the whole time he was at the mental institution, Toki, you're an asshole. The whole time he was at the mental institution, they were trying to convince him that, logic. You gotta think logically, or whatever. But the best part of the movie, aside from when she starts explaining the stuff, is they're arguing about all this. And then they walk out of the room, and when they come back to the room, all the camera equipment is facing away from the mirror, and the plants are dead. And when they look back at the footage, it shows that they are the ones that did it while they were having this conversation. And while we were watching the movie, we didn't see them doing this, but apparently that's what they did. And then this stuff keeps happening throughout the movie, where you're not sure what the fuck's going on, what you're looking at is real. There's a scene, like, it was in the trailer, and it looked corny in the trailer, but when it actually happens in the movie, it played out right. And that's why it inspired my intro. And I'm talking about the scene where she goes to bite the apple, and it's a light bulb. Speaking of which, that reminds me of another scene, and I made a reenactment video. It's not me actually watching it. This is just me and how I reacted to it. So the audio in the background is not correct. But this is me reacting to the fingernail scene. See, because the dad had bit off his fingernail and it was kind of bloody, which that was one thing, okay? And I don't know if I'd be able to find that and have it playing up in this corner so you can see my reaction to what, because I don't even know what the hell they showed, because as soon as he started unwrapping this Band-Aid, look, there it is. That's how, yeah, I don't even know. But, yeah. So, and then, yeah. The movie basically took off after the half-hour mark, because I even went back and watched somebody else's review, and they were talking about, it was Chris Stuckman talking about the first half hour. He was like, okay, where are we going with this? But then, like, basically, once she starts explaining to her brother the plan, everything takes off, and then it just goes crazier and crazier and crazier, and it shows you the backstory, and, like, if you're like me and you haven't seen this movie, I don't really want to spoil anything because it doesn't get like super, super scary, but it'll put you on edge. You're definitely going to not know what to believe. I don't know what to believe anymore. But yeah, then the ending, okay? The ending. Shit. Fuck you. When's the last time you had an ending just straight up be like, fuck you? That's what you get, you know? Alright, anyway, so we're gonna rate this movie, because yeah, after the ending, I don't want to talk, I don't know who's out there. There's people that haven't seen this movie, and I just wouldn't want to be one of those people that spoils it. The movie definitely surprised me, even though I heard good things after the fact. I was still thinking, no, it can't be that good. Just because of the trailer, like, and I think the main thing that bothered me about the movie is the guy that plays the brother didn't necessarily care for him. Maybe it's his hair, I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's probably his hair. But aside from that, I'm gonna have to give the movie a solid 7. It's solid as a rock. At a 7. It would have been an 8. It would have been an 8, but the beginning of the movie was just... And then the ending, even though it was good, it was like, fuck you, man. You son of a bitch. So yeah, it's getting a 7. Maybe it'll change to an 8 upon rewatch. I don't know. I couldn't tell you right now because it's now, not then. Anyway, make sure you let me know if you've seen this movie and all that good stuff. Like the video, click the subscribe button. There's a bell notification, all that other stuff. And we will see you next time. And then also there's a bunch of other stuff that I forgot to say, but you know what I'm getting at, right? I have met my demons, and they are many. Something about the devil.